So today we are very, very fortunate to have the association of His Grace Nandaputra Prabhu. Prabhuji got initiated in November 1983 from His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj. Prabhuji served in Trivandrum Temple for Guruvayur project, Coimbatore Temple, Nagarkoil Temple, and now Prabhuji is the president of Trichy Temple. Prabhuji has been instrumental in translation and publication of Bhagavad Gita in Malayalam, translated many small books of Srila Prabhupada. So let us welcome Prabhuji by lovingly and loudly chanting 3 times Hare Krishna Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare.
So Prabhuji will be speaking on the topic of Sadhu Sangha, the importance of Sadhu Sangha, and it will be in English. So please, I request all of you to please mute it till the class is over. After the class is over, if you have any doubt, you can unmute and ask questions to Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Over to you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshuranmilidam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukham Karoti Vacharam Pankum Lankayate Girim Yatprapadamaham Vande Shri Guru Deenadayinim Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Vishwara Nama Om Kripadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine.
Now you go. Now I'll manage.
Satya Deshatarine. Nama Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Yodha Pravishya Mavajamima Prasutta Sanjeevayatya Shakti Dharasudhamnam Anyam Sahasrama Shamagatrugadin Pranam Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Turbhyam. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for the opportunity given to me to speak on a very important subject, that is Sadhu Sangha. Of course, Sadhu Sangha is like it is the devotion to Krishna begins with the association of advanced devotees. An essential ingredient of bhakti that nourishes one's progress to perfection in Krishna consciousness or Krishna prema, that is Sadhu Sangha. Without Sadhu Sangha, we cannot even think of becoming a devotee of Krishna. Because the information about Krishna is given by a devotee. Devotee is called Sadhu. Why devotee is called Sadhu? It's because his desire or his intention is Sadhu. Sadhu means very good. Previously, when in the company of Krishna, in the company of great personalities, when somebody comes and says something very prominent, something Krishna conscious, everybody would appreciate saying Sadhu, Sadhu. Like that. Sadhu means which is very, very important or which is very authentic. A person who is actually authentic and is having a desire to go back to Krishna is called Sadhu. And to such a Sadhu, the entire material world is simply an ocean of 3 modes of material nature. So, therefore, in Bhagavatam, there is a nice sloka where Muchipunta is telling Krishna.
Sir, I checked that one, 220 plus taxes. So it is coming 1,320 for 2-bedroom apartment percentage.
How much it comes?
1,320 plus tax. Yeah, but 2-bedroom apartment they will do.
2-bedroom apartment.
Yes.
Dugan Prabhu, you are mute, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Apavarto brahmato yada bhave
The check was because it is sometimes difficult to come back also. Huh?
Yeah, maybe even
Please go ahead, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Bhava apavargo brahmato yada bhave janasya tarhyachyuta satsaga samagama satsangamo yarhitadaiva satgado paravareshe tui jayate matihi. That is, when the material life, when the hankering for material life, when the wanderings of the soul for the sake of enjoyment in this material world is ceased, then he's saying, oh Achyuta, Tava Tarhi Achyuta Sat Samagama. When such a time comes, he may attain the association of devotees of Krishna. And when he associates with the devotees of Krishna, there awakens in him pure devotion unto Krishna. Krishna is the goal of all the devotees and the Lord of all causes and all effects. This is a statement from Srimad Bhagavatam made by Muchukunda. So when do we get association of a devotee? We get association of devotee in right time. Actually, our life is full of choices. Every minute is a minute of choice. We can decide what to do next. We can decide whether to read Bhagavad Gita, or to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, or to watch a movie, or to go ahead with some other program. You know, it's up to us every time. Nobody is forcing us to do anything. It's all up to our choice. So how do we exercise our choice? And our choices, even though nobody is forcing us to make a choice, naturally our choices will be according to the mode of nature we have acquired. Suppose if I am in a mode of goodness, I will choose for doing something good. If I am in the mode of ignorance, I will choose to go to sleep. If I am in the mode of passion, I will choose to do many activities which entangles me further into so many problems and issues. So this way, our choices we exercise according to our previous life. Whatever we have achieved, our previous life. We have come here with that kind of, background. So normally people see horoscope. We call it our Guru Maharaj, my Guru Maharaj calls it a horoscope. What are the horrors you can expect in life? Is the horoscope is. So this is a part of our karma. We have brought all that from the previous life and we are enjoying or suffering the results of it. Actually, even though we attribute so much of our capacity, our actions for our achievements, but actually speaking, Prakriti Kriyamana, everything is done by the material nature. Actually, we all have very, very less, what you call, credit for whatever we are today. And most of the credit goes to the three modes of material nature. Sattva Guna, Raja Guna, Tama. We are acting under the influence of the three modes. So when we are in the three modes, under the influence of it, we are asked to make choice. We make choice according to the desire, according to the mode that we have acquired. Prakriti Sabhavat. By naturally what we have brought from a previous life, we make that kind of a choice. So therefore, it is very difficult to get out of this material world. Krishna is telling Arjuna, Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna. These three modes, you overcome Arjuna, then only you can come back to me. But then how to overcome? The more we live in this world, the more we exercise our choices according to the three modes, the more we are getting entangled further. It's like a person got into a marshy land. Put one leg into the marshy land, and then to pull it out, you fix the other leg, and that goes down deeper. By the time you plug it out, the other leg has gone down. In order to pull it up, you put the other leg down. So this is a continuous affair, and we get sunk into the marshy land. So this is how actions and reactions are happening in this material world. Actually, by ourselves, we cannot do anything. We cannot get out of this material nature. Prabhupada explains that if in a room, say 100 people are kept tied, hands behind, and then who can save anybody? And if there is one person free to remove the knot from the hand of one person even, and that person can help, and other people who are getting released can help. This way, we can actually release everybody in that room. Similarly, when we are in the tie-up of this material nature, under the three modes of material nature, who can save us? We cannot save ourselves. So we need another agency. We need another person to do it. And who is that person? That person is called Sadhu or Vaishnava. So therefore, our Krishna consciousness begins when we meet a Sadhu. When we meet a Sadhu. Actually, according to Srimad Bhagavatam, it's Ado Shraddha. According to Rupa Goswami, it is Ado Shraddha. Rupa Goswami says, in the beginning there is Shraddha. Shraddha means faith. Ado Shraddha. Then second is Sadhu Sangha. When the faith comes, you get in touch with devotees. But then, Srimad Bhagavatam says, here Vachukunda speaks to the Lord, saying that this faith, Sadhu Sangha, is even prior to this faith. Some devotee has seen us, some devotee has given us a Bhagavad Gita, some devotee implored us to understand the nature of the soul, the body. Because of that, we are actually, in the beginning, I'm sure everybody will be reluctantly waiting. Oh, who is this? What's happening? Oh, Bhagavad Gita, okay. I have gone for good distribution. Most of the people, in the beginning, they are reluctant to take. Oh, I have 3-4 Gitas in my house. Why should I read another? Then you have to explain. Then you speak to them. Then you give them prasadam. Slowly, 2 times, 3 times. Okay, he accepts. Okay, I will read this Gita. Slowly, actually, he is taking first step to go back to God. How? It's from the devotee. It's because of that contact with the devotee. So basically speaking, the first thing is not anything else but contact of a devotee. Krishna devotee. Krishna Bhakti in Chaitanya Chudamara, it's a nice sloka which says Krishna Bhakti Janma Moola Haya Sadhu Sangha Krishna Prema Janmete No Guna Mukhya Anta. It says Krishna Bhakti Janma Moola. Janma Moola means the cause, the root cause of devotion to Krishna. Krishna Bhakti. The root cause of devotion to Krishna is Sadhu Sangha. Why is Sadhu Sangha? It is only Sadhu Sangha. Because of Sadhu Sangha only, we can start even thinking about Krishna and how, and who develops that faith in us, that Krishna is there, spiritual world is there, Golokavandana is there, Vaikunthas are there, and our opportunity to serve Krishna is there, and our great opportunity to go back to Krishna is there. All these things we know now because of a devotee. In fact, I used to, when I read that Prabhupada's Leela-amrita, that 7th-volume Leela-amrita, His Holiness Sri Goswami Maharaj, I was really moved at one point because Prabhupada went to America. He went and asked Sumati Moraji, the Sindhya Steamship Company owner, Mrs. Sumati Moraji, Mataji in Delhi, in Bombay. And when he asked her, I want to go to America, she laughed. How old are you, son? He said, I'm 69 over 79. At the age of 70, it is better that you go to Vrindavan and sit down. If you want, I will make an ashram for you. You can sit down there. You can do bhajan. It's better for you. Why you want to go to America? Why are you so ambitious, Swamiji? She openly asked. I think some of you must have met Sumati Moraji Madam, and she's very powerful. She asked him, why are you so ambitious? Why do you want to go to America? America is not a place for you, she said. Then Prabhupada said, no, I know America is not a place for me, but then I have order of my Guru Maharaj that you spread Krishna consciousness to the English-speaking world. when they take it up, and all these people will take it up easily. Because people who are pretending to be asleep, it is difficult to wake them up. If they are really sleeping, you can wake them up. So here in India, people are pretending to be asleep, thinking that, okay, I know Bhagavad Gita spoken by Krishna to Arjuna, this happened, that happened, Mahabharata happened. Finally, they will say, if you keep Mahabharata at home, war will come. War will burst out between brothers, sisters. So this is they know Bhagavad Gita, they know about Krishna, but they don't know who Krishna is. What Bhagavad Gita states, nothing. What is the importance of Gita? Nobody knows. Very less people even care to know about it. So therefore, it is better that you try to speak to the Western world. They really do not know who Krishna is. So they will listen to your message because they don't know anything. They're freshers. So I have the order of my Guru Maharaj to go to America and preach. Now, if I go to Vrindavan and chant and die there also, I cannot go back to Krishna without executing the order of my Guru. And while executing the order of my Guru, even if I pass away in America, what loss is there for me? Krishna will definitely take care. There's no doubt. My Guru will take care. This was the conviction of Srila Prabhupada, and she was stunned with the conviction of Prabhupada. She said, okay, Swamiji, I will let you go. No problem. She immediately recommended, and Prabhupada got into the ship, and in few months' time, he left India, he went to America. 4 or 5 months he traveled. We know that, history, how Prabhupada suffered heart attacks and how Krishna came in his dream and told him that I am in charge of the ship, don't worry, things will happen properly. And then he went to America, he got down there, he didn't have anybody to receive him. And in fact, he suffered a lot in the cold climate, as Mrs. Sumati Maraji was telling. As there is cold climate and people are not accustomed to Indian culture, they don't know anything about Krishna, and what you will do? So therefore, that time, it seems Prabhupada came back to the Sindhya stream, to the place where he got down from the ship, came back to their office and asked them, when is next ship going back to India? And then, they were thinking, why you, Swamiji? No, I would like to go back to India. Prabhupada, I heard that one clipping during last ILS. Prabhupada was saying, I was very disturbed. I was really disturbed. Prabhupada said, it's very difficult for him to continue in that climate, in that situation, with nobody to help. And he lost his typewriter again, and he lost his writings. And the situation was not so very good for an elderly person. He had all full body pain. He was not able to maintain himself. And a person after undergoing heart attack in the ship is there not taking care. Nobody is taking care of him. Practically, he was like a big shoe. But really, he had nothing in his hand. Suffering alone. So Prabhupada came back and asked, when is the next ship going back to India? And then they said, just now one ship left. When will the next ship go? And then they said, it will take some time because it's a cargo ship. We need to get sufficient bookings so that we can send another ship to India. And Prabhupada said, all right, I will keep coming and finding out. And then Prabhupada came again and he asked. They said, oh, it's going to go another 2 weeks' time, it's going to go. But we need permission from our chairperson, to send you back to India. And Prabhupada wrote a letter. I would like to come back to India, and please recommend me for traveling from here back to India. And so then they faxed the message to Sumati Maraji, and she saw the fax. She immediately told them back, don't bring that Swamiji back here. I told him, it's very cold there. He will not be able to maintain himself there. And he was saying, he is having some mission to fulfill his spiritual master's order. Let him fulfill his spiritual master's order. Now suddenly, why is he getting discouraged? Let him fulfill that. Don't bring him back. See to it. And when these people told Prabhupada that our chairperson refused your request, Prabhupada smiled. Prabhupada could see Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, his Guru Maharaj, speaking to him. Don't get discouraged. Continue your efforts. Krishna is there for you. So that he could hear. And very, very mercifully, Srila Prabhupada, in spite of all the troubles, all the problems, Prabhupada just gave himself into giving association to people. And slowly, this huge organization, International Society of Krishna Consciousness, such a wonderful organization, that organization has come up. And why? How? It's because of Prabhupada's association. Previously, Prabhupada had sent few books. Even tomorrow is Sachidananda Bhaktivinoda Thakur Maharaj's disappearance day. So he also sent the Life and Precepts of Lord Chaitanya. That book was sent to various libraries all over the world. So nobody took it seriously because they could not see anyone. They could not relate to anybody. They could not. Few people, one or two people must have read that. Prabhupada also was trying to send, but then Prabhupada thought it don't work because if you don't go there, it won't work. And Prabhupada went there. He personally gave association to everybody. While praying to Lord Chaitanya, we pray to him, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo More. Kindly give me your blessings, Lord Chaitanya. Without, other than you, there is nobody in this whole world so merciful. And you have come here for delivering all the fallen souls. And here I am, the number one fallen soul. So, we are the most fallen people get chance to go back to Krishna. This is Lord Chaitanya's moment. So Prabhupada went there and none of the high class people came. Only boys came and he got a shop. He got a shop, storefront where he used to sit and give class. And few people who come to buy ganja and other intoxicants, they come across. And Prabhupada put his name, Stay High Forever, because that street was a Stay High street where all the intoxicants are available. They call it Stay High Street. And then Prabhupada kept a board, chant Hare Krishna, Stay High Forever. So in this way, all stunts he has played and he has attracted many people with whatever little he could get by some menial donation of some good soul. Prabhupada would make sweets and supply to them. He wouldn't care to eat himself sufficiently. He would make sweets and give to them, attract them, made them devotees. So this is the action of mercy of a devotee. Prabhupada's mercy is. Prabhupada could have very well, he is a businessman, very well he could have grabbed this business and he would have stayed in India itself. He is from a very good background in Calcutta and he could do many things. He had his own pharmaceutical company and because of not concentrating on the business and trying to spread Lord Chaitanya's mission, he lost his business. He could have done so many things, but then he didn't care for anything. He just wanted to dedicate himself as instructed by his Guru Maharaj. This was his mercy. Like that, I was telling you, life is full of choices. So Prabhupada took the choice of from comfortable living to struggling to preach Krishna consciousness, to reach Krishna consciousness worldwide. He had a big plan, huge plan. And he knew that if I go ahead, Krishna will support. Just like, this Vasudeva, Krishna's father, when Vasudeva was in the forest, in the prison house, he was shackled. He was within the prison, which was having 7 gates, and he was shackled within. At that time, Krishna was born, And Krishna told Vasudeva that you take me to Goloka and bring that girl. There's a girl born for Nanda Maharaj there. Bring that girl here. Vasudeva did not even ask one question. Are Baba, what are you saying? I am shackled. How will I go out? He did not ask that question. What did he say? He said, yes, your order. I will take care. I will do it. The moment he said, he showed his willingness without argument. Without any argument. He showed his willingness to take Krishna and follow his instruction. Immediately the shackle got cut off. Then again, another obstacle. What is that? Big gates. And each gate, on top of each gate, big rocks are kept. Suppose by some chance somebody takes a key and opens the door, that rock will fall on his head and he will die. So that arrangement was there. Because for Kamsa it is his life. It's a play with life and death. This eighth son is going to kill me. So Kamsa is very careful. So, but he didn't even think about the door is closed, the watchmen are there, the soldiers are there, they will catch me means I'm finished. He did not think of anything. He just thought about one thing, that is Krishna wants me to do it, let me do it. Same way. Prabhupada could see many obstacles, but he did not care for all that. He just went. Anyway, let me give a try. What am I going to do in this life? Other than fulfilling the order of my spiritual.
ఏ కాసు బాబు అది మిరాజ్ కదా
కాదు అట్లా లాస్ట్ లో డస్ట్బిన్ దగ్గర ఉందా
ఓకే
అదే
So Vasudeva was not very happy. Not listening to, I'm sorry. Prabhupada was not very happy without following the order of the spiritual master. He wanted to go. And then later on, after so many years, when His Holiness Tamarkrishna Maharaj in the presence of Prabhupada, in the Vyasa Puja, Tamarkrishna Maharaj, when he said that, our spiritual master, His Holiness, His Divine Grace, His Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, he struggled a lot to give us this Krishna consciousness. To take this Krishna consciousness message to the whole world, he has struggled a lot. Prabhupada intervened and he said, no, I did not struggle. It was all pleasure for me. I gave it a try because it's my duty to fulfill my spiritual master's order. And I am trying to spread the glories of Krishna, which is very pleasing thing for me. Where did I suffer? Nothing. I did not suffer. And Prabhupada explained, when a young boy, that that age, when he sees a girl, he will do anything to catch her attraction. He will do all risk. He will jump from top. He will, get into the pit. Whatever he wants, whatever nonsense he can do, he will do. For what? For getting the attention of the girl. Similarly, I am in love. What can I do? I am in love with a blue boy. I have to struggle to catch his attention. I have to give him, what is required. I have to serve him because I am in love with him. So this Prabhupada said. So that was the reason. One side, the sadhu feels very happy to preach Krishna consciousness, to give Krishna consciousness to people. So, therefore, association of devotees is a must. Without this, the association of a devotee of this stature, of this enthusiasm to serve Krishna, it is very difficult for us even to dream of serving Krishna. Because we have come into this world not to serve anybody. We have come into this world to become the boss. I am the boss. We are Bhakta Das, we are Bhakta boss. We have come here to become boss. So, the whole proposal of surrendering, all that is very difficult for people. Krishna says, Manushyanam Sahasreshu Prasid. Out of thousands of people, one person may think about God. Out of such 1,000 people, one may get to know what is God. Who is God? So this is like but the paradox is we all are part and parcel of Krishna. We are all having Krishna consciousness inherent in us. It's dormant. Prabhupada calls it dormant love for Krishna. When we see a devotee of Krishna, our dormant love awakens. Thus, Sri Krishna Namadi Nabhavet Grahi Vendriyahi Sevanukhi Jikwado Swayameva Spuratita. Swayameva, automatically that comes from the heart. Because we are originally Krishna conscious entities. We are originally part and parcel of Krishna. And we know, actually we know, Krishna, there's no other goal. Only to satisfy Krishna is my goal of life. We know that also. Everybody knows. Whichever religion one may pursue, or whichever, some may be materialistic, some may be non-believers, some may be atheistic, yeah, so some may be paratheistic, some may be people will be so many kind of people are there. But everyone is a servant. Everyone is Mamaiva Amsha Jiva Loke, not only human beings, even animals. All are my parts and parcels. This is known to the living entity also. But then we have forgotten. Why? Because so many years passed. No, sometimes we leave our original place, our native place, and live far away for so many years. For 30, 40 years. When you come back, you don't know the roads, you don't know the people, you don't know anything, nobody knows you, you have no connection. You are simply a guest in that place. But that is your own place. It's like that. We have left since time immemorial from Krishna's association. We are wandering here. We are wandering here. We are suffering. We are looking for what we have lost, but we don't know what we have lost. Totally forgetfulness. So at that time, the best service a person can do, just like there is a story Prabhupada says about a boy who went along with his father for a festival, and he got lost. He got lost in the crowd. Lakhs of people assembled in that area. And the more he was searching for his father, the more he was going away from the father. The child is so small, the child does not know the father's name, mother's name. Now, to tell the address, phone number, nothing he knows. And he's crying, Appa, Appa, father is crying. That's all. And he doesn't know how to say his father's name. And then some people give, when he is hungry, some people give toffee. And for some time he will stop crying until the toffee is over. And again he will remember his father. Please, I want to come to you. But then, some people give dress. Some people give some plaything. Some people give some water. Some people give some food. And whenever it is required, he will take. That much time he will not cry. Again he will look for his father. Because the ultimate thing is to go back to the father. Not to get one toffee or a plaything or a toy or something. Or a food or clothes or anything. It's all not important. The most important thing is to get back to the father. Right? So suppose somebody knows the child, hey, you are the son of so and so. How are you here? How did you get stuck here? I will take you to your father. And if he takes the boy to the father, isn't it that the greatest service he can render to that person, to that child? Because his suffering is finished once for all. He is happy under the protection of his father. So similarly, the entire world, we are all, Krishna says, part and parcel of Krishna. We have all come away from Krishna and we are looking for Krishna, actually. Actually, we are all looking for happiness, right? We are all looking for happiness. Where is that happiness available? We don't know. We think happiness is here, happiness is there, happiness is there. We are trying out so many things, and everywhere we get some happiness, but it is loaded with unhappiness later on. It's loaded with unhappiness. Because after all, the the life of a person is tragedy. We are all going to die one day. You don't want to die. It's going to happen. Whether I'm saying it or not, it's going to happen. I'm not being negative because it's the truth, as they say, as sure as death. It's going to happen. So we don't want to die. Why we don't want to die? Because we are all originally eternal living beings. And if somebody can remind us this, that, oh, you are such a wonderful person. You are the son of so and so. I will take you that person to your father. Then we must be grateful to him. So that person is sadhu. That person who reminds us of our origin, that is, we are part and parcel of Krishna. And our happiness is lying in Krishna. The moment you are associating with Krishna, your happiness, you will get it back. Thousands folds you will get it back. That will be much more than what you ever imagine, the happiness you get. So if somebody tells you that, he will be the best person. In Srimad Bhagavatam, the gopis are singing Gopika Geetam. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kavibhiredidam kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Srimadadadam Bhuvi Grinantiye Bhurita Jana. It says that your holy name, Tava your stories, Krishna's stories, your stories, your pastimes, Tapta Jivan. For the people who are living in this world, suffering threefold miseries, for such people, your story is like Amrita, is like nectar. Kavibhiriditam kalmashapaham. Even for great kavis, great learned people, jnanis, iditam, it's very bewildering for them, your pastimes, your actions. Like Prabhupada said, once His Holiness Satsvarupa Maharaj was saying that once in the beginning, he understood that theoretically I have to accept that Krishna is Supreme Personality. But even though I don't understand, theoretically we have to accept. Then only we can, based on that postulate, only we can progress in what is known as Krishna consciousness. He understood that much. Then he understood, and at one point he heard Prabhupada saying Krishna had 16,108 wives and 10 children of each one of them. And he had made palace for each one of them. And then he felt, come on, this is too much, far stretched. This I cannot accept. It's very difficult. I don't understand this. I cannot simply accept this. Then he went and told Prabhupada, Prabhupada, I don't understand what you're saying. Like 16,108 wives. Is it possible for anybody? It's possible for anybody to have that many wives? Is it you want me to accept it as truth? I am not able to understand it. Prabhupada, you know how he answered it. Prabhupada said, you don't understand? Many learned sages don't understand. What to speak of you? You don't understand. And what is so great about it? It's not meant to be understood by people like us who are, puny, insignificant, living entities in this world. Krishna is part of us. The moment you accept it, then you are not puny. Then you are, part of Krishna's Leela. Then you are a sadhu. A person who accepts everything favorable to Krishna consciousness, he is a sadhu. Anything favorable he will accept, even though it is difficult for him to accept. Like Prabhupada did. He accepted. So he is sadhu. And if somebody is rejecting, how much ever dear to him something is, because it is not favorable to Krishna consciousness, I want to reject it. He is a sadhu. He is a sadhu. So, association with advanced devotees, it is glorified as Janma Moolam. It's a root cause of bhakti, Krishna Bhakti Janma Moolam. The root cause of Krishna Bhakti is the association of devotees. It is not that it is very important, it is the life of devotion to Krishna, association of devotees. In the beginning, we have some little faith, we have some association with some sadhu, few minutes, and then we read a book or hear him, and then the more we hear him, the more we get faith. But then, even if you get faith, what you will do? How to relate with Krishna? Krishna can be related only through devotees, because Krishna is never alone. It's always associated with devotees. So, when the Shraddha comes, faith comes, it becomes even more important for us to associate. In fact, in every stage of devotional service, whether it is in Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya means devotional service, Anardha Nivarti, clearing all unwanted things, Nishtha, getting fixed up in devotional service, Asakti, Rati, all these things, I think we get enjoying in Krishna's association, in chanting the holy name and doing devotional service. And if you are so much of, having so much of, eagerness to accept Krishna consciousness, all these different steps, including bhava and prema, association of devotees is a must. Because that is the lifeline of Krishna Bhakti. How long can we, just touch your heart and think about it. How long can we be Krishna conscious without the association of devotees? How long can we be? Slowly our 16 rounds will become 15 rounds, 12 rounds. So I can chant whenever I get time, 8 rounds. 1 round I chant. If you don't continuously get association with devotees for some time, we fall down. Because we are in association with Maya, material nature. Bhava Prabhaho Paramam Padam. Bhava Prabhaha. It is the flow, constant flow of 3 modes of material nature. The moment we forget, we get carried away by 3 modes of nature. So therefore, to remember Krishna, to be under the protection of Krishna is very difficult without association of devotees. This is very important. So, association of material people with material consciousness, materialistic people, that brings materialism in us too, how much ever advanced devotees we are. Association of such materialistic people will become materialism in us. And similarly, on the other side, association of devotees will bring devotion to us, will make us also devotees. At one time, Point Prabhupada said, we just one devotee, when I told him that Prabhupada is very difficult to become a devotee. I understand. Reading Nectar of Devotion, Nectar of Instruction, according to my mood, it's very difficult to become a devotee. So was it true? Very difficult to become a devotee. But you act like one. Slowly, that will become your natural habit. At least let us act like a devotee. And even acting like a devotee need the guidance of another devotee. You have to act like a devotee, means we have to see a devotee. We have to be imitating a devotee, or we have to be in association with a devotee. So, devotional service, the basement is devotion, is sadhu sangha, association. Sadhu sangha doesn't mean simply, just say hi, bye, how are you, what is the cricket score today, how is Corona going. This is not sadhu sangha. We sit and discuss about Krishna, one-to-one discussion about Krishna. It's very important. In the beginning, it's all right, we can meet any devotee and we can catch up devotion. But then as we progress, we have to be very, very, very diligent with whom we are taking association. There are 3 ways of taking association. One is to take association of Sajatiya devotees. Search out devotees of same mindset or the same level. And then association with Mahashayas, Ashya means more advanced than us. Search out for devotees who are more advanced than us. And then search out for devotees who are Snigdha. Snigdha means one who is affectionately predisposed. Affectionately predisposed to oneself, to us. So those who are affectionate to us, those who are senior than us, those who are having same mindset. So we associate with this kind of people. And if somebody is having, oh, it's okay, going to Guruvayur temple or going to this temple, that temple, doesn't matter. God is there everywhere, kind of thing, It's like people finally come to the point that God is not there. So such people, if you associate with, we imbibe. It's like osmosis, you have seen osmosis. If you keep two beakers, one beaker full of pure water, another beaker full of salt water, and somewhere in between you link between these two beakers with a small tube, and then slowly but surely the plain water will also get salty, and the other salty water will get less salty. Therefore, it is not so very good example, because the devotee who gives Krishna consciousness never comes down in his Krishna consciousness. But then Prabhupada said, Prabhupada's favorable quote is there. Prabhupada says, like iron rod. If you keep an iron rod within the fire, after some time, the iron rod becomes fire. Fire is something very pure. And we are like iron rods. We are like so hard-hearted. We don't know what is, life. What is devotion to Krishna? We don't know. We get associated with this fire. This firebrand devotees who speak always about Krishna. It's like electric wire hanging. If you touch that, you get shocked. You get any devotee, you touch a devotee who is Krishna conscious, you get infected by their devotion to Krishna. So this is like, we have to associate with such devotees called sadhu sangha. Sadhu sangha is like the forerunner as well as the sustainer of devotion. Before getting devotion also you need sadhu sangha. After getting devotion also you need sadhu sangha. Because they are the people who are keeping the chavi, Krishna's chavi. When they say, Krishna opens it up. Like Prabhupada says in the introduction of Bhagavad Gita, honey. If you simply lick the bottle of honey, you won't get the sweetness. You have to open it. And the devotees have the chavi. And you get the bag and get the chavi from the devotee, from the spiritual master, open it, then you have access to honey. So this is the purpose of sadhu sangha. Purpose of sadhu sangha is not to discuss Gramikata, to discuss this, that, business. The purpose of sadhu, even though we may discuss business, everything, but then our aim of having association of a devotee should be to know more about Krishna. You happen to see a devotee who knows more about Krishna than me, then I should be very happy to take that association. And sometimes an objection will come that, for you, Prabhu, we can say all that because you are, you are in a safe place. You are in India, you are in an ashram, whoever sees you, will all say Hare Krishna to you, and you can easily speak to them. But we are working outside, it's very difficult to maintain that consciousness. But then, when we meet people who are not in Krishna consciousness, then it becomes our duty to give Krishna consciousness. When we see somebody who is less Krishna consciousness than us, when we see somebody who is less consciousness than Krishna conscious than us, our duty is to preach to them. The moment we see a person who is more Krishna conscious, our duty is not to preach to him, to take association. So this difference that we have to actually see. This is sadhu sangha. So we have different stages. We said Shraddha, sadhu sangha, bhajana kriya, ruchi, asakti, sadhana, bhakti, bhava bhakti, prema bhakti. In all these different steps, sadhu sangha is a constant must. Constant must. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, the one who wrote Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam prayers, Guru Ashtaka. He discusses, I was just some time back I was reading His Holiness Bhaniswami Maharaj's translation on Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's translation of Srimad Bhagavatam. So some article I was reading. So there, this 14 items. They are saying Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, all this they are saying. 7, 8 items. But then here comes 14 items. Out of that, Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur lists mercy of devotees as first. And second is service to devotee. And third is faith. And then 4 comes Sarga to Guru. This way, if you see, out of these 14 items, almost 8 items are related to devotion to, related to Sadhu Sangha, association with devotees. So this way we can experience, an experience of Krishna consciousness is available for us only through a devotee. I would like to start with a small story, so you'll remember this story, so to take the essence of it. There was a great sage called Lomasha Muni. Lomasha Muni. This Lomasha Muni had a trouble. He suddenly had some itching. All his body is itching suddenly. And that was disturbing his meditation so much. The moment he sit down for meditation, his whole body itches. And then, he found it very difficult to proceed in his spiritual life. So he went and requested Angira Muni, what shall I do? And then he just meditated and he said, you do one thing. You just go and take remnants of food from the most sinful person. You find out a most sinful man and you go and take his remnants. Whatever leftover food, that sinful man's prasadam will Bhaga. Lomasha Muni was saying, why? Why should I take a sinful man's prasadam? It's not good. No, if you do that, your itching will go. So Lomasha Muni was searching out for a person who is very sinful. Finally whom he met? We know that person also. Very famous person. This person name was Ajamila. Story of Ajamila is in Bhagavatam. So he was the most sinful man of that time, of Lomasha Muni's time. So Lomasha Muni went to him, went to his house. Lomasha Muni saw his wife, and that lady was wondering, God, a person is coming, a great sage is coming to my house. Everybody will be afraid of my husband. Nobody come this way. And he is boldly coming to my house. What is happening? She was wondering. And then she asked, what do you want, Swamiji, from here? This is not the place from where you can get anything. And then Lomasha Muni said, I want some food. She was so happy. Oh, it's an opportunity for me to feed a sage. All our sins, our family's sins can be washed off by giving food to him. She immediately she was searching for vessels, searching for rice. She was trying to cook. He said, no, I don't want you to cook anything. Whatever Ajamila has taken in the morning, if the leftover is, where you have thrown that leftover, you tell me, I will go and eat that remnants only. I don't want anything else. And then she was wondering, what is happening? This Maharshi went mad or what? He said, normally we throw our balanced food there. All our remnants are thrown there. All our plates, leaf plates, everything. Lomasha Muni eagerly went there and got some remnants. He ate. He said, thank you. Thank you, Mataji. He said, and he left. As he was going, slowly, after a few hours, he found that his itching is going. It's not so very bad like before. His itching is going. He's getting better. So he thought, I should give him some gift. I should give this Jamala some gift. I've taken benefit from him. I should give him back something. Then Lomasha Muni walked back. 2-3 hours he walked back just to give him something. He came here and asked that lady, Ajamala's wife. He saw one small boy was running around. He said, is this your son? She said, yes. Is this Ajamala's son also? Yes, Ajamala's son also. So I want to tell you one thing. What is his name? Then she said some name, like we call so many names, not Hindu, so many things we call. So some name, some horrible name she told. He said, no, don't call him by the name. You call him by the name Narayana. Narayana, you call him Narayana. For my sake, this is my gift to you. Please take this from me. You call him Narayana. This is my only request, nothing else I have. And then she was somehow or other, by destiny's arrangement, somehow she felt comfortable with Lokasha Muni. And she said, yes, sure, Maharaj will definitely do that. And then she started calling him Narayana. Rajamala also started calling him Narayana. Now I don't know, the story is over. You know what happened after that. Rajamala called Narayana when Yamadudas came. And then when Vishnudutas came, because of the name Narayana, and Rajamala was delivered. He was given a second chance to go back to Krishna. So, the story, the lesson of the story is that if at all you want to give somebody something valuable, you just give them the holy name. You just give them knowledge of Krishna. This is sadhu. So such sadhus, we should definitely take association. So this is my humble presentation.
Some, interaction with our Guru Maharaj, some pastimes, your personal pastimes, with his Holiness Japataka Guru Maharaj.
Guru Maharaj. I'm very, very fortunate to have got association of my Guru Maharaj. In every phases of my life, means like from my young age, my 18 years old, 19 years old, I have been seeing Guru Maharaj. And he has been a very great inspiration for me. Every action of him was a great inspiration for me. So I should be, Janme Janme Prabhu say is the word to say, but then I'm eternally indebted to him for whatever association he's given me. Even though I have given him only troubles, I've not given him any kind of comforts. But he has, right from the beginning of my spiritual life, he has given me 2-3 things I'd like to say. Like sometimes you may feel people was talking Bible, they say this. Suddenly somebody comes up, he is not able to talk anything, and call Yeshu, he started talking again. Something like that. I have something like that to say about Guru Maharaj. In my childhood, I used to do a lot of stammering. I cannot talk straight. Like that, I cannot pronounce things properly, words, sentences properly. Whenever there is any hard letter comes, it takes 2-3 hiccups for me to start telling that word. Therefore, I was introvert. I never used to speak out because I will be afraid that, how will I speak? They will understand that I'm a stammering man. So then, whenever I start speaking, the stammering will come. Like somebody was saying, oh, do you have stammering all the time? He said, no. Whenever I start talking, there is stammering. It was like that for me. And then, suddenly, in Trivandrum, there's a huge program. When my Guru Maharaj came to Trivandrum, there's a huge program where thousands of people assembled in Trivandrum, in a public place, in an open auditorium, not auditorium, open stadium. So then a lot of people came. And Guru Maharaj's lecture was supposed to be translated by one person, one professor. Very, very learned man. He has written many books like that. He is supposed to have translated because not many devotees were there speaking Malayalam at that time. This I am talking to you about in 1982. And then Guru Maharaj came, and one person, this professor also translated 1 or 2 books of Srila Prabhupada, small books of Prabhupada. So he was supposed to all set for translation. Guru Maharaj started speaking, and this person started translating. After about 5 minutes, somehow Guru Maharaj had a feeling that this person is giving his own lecture. He is not translating what I am saying. He is giving his own points. Guru Maharaj somehow made out. I don't know how it is. And then Guru Maharaj immediately said, "You translate properly." And then I'm translating properly. Then he was telling Guru Maharaj, "You said this in English, I said in Malayalam." That is not the correct this thing. Guru Maharaj corrected him. I said like this, but I thought you were saying like that. And the entire audience were clapping. How this foreigner man, how does he understand Malayalam? Doesn't know Malayalam actually. Somehow or other he understood this person is talking something out of the picture. And then Guru Maharaj called me. "What is your mother tongue?" He asked me. I said, "Malayalam," I said. So he said, "Can you translate?" And then I said, "I am having stammering problems." He said, "It's all right, you start. You come here," he said. And then he just touched my head. He said, "You translate." Then Guru Maharaj spoke. I translated. I did not stammer. Even today I am not stammering. Continuously. From then, every lecture of Guru Maharaj was translated by me for so many years. At least until 93. But then, the stamina is gone, really. It's like, I cannot say this. I feel ashamed sometimes to say this. Because people think this man is crazy. He's talking something out of the blue. But actually, this is the truth. It happened to me. I don't know how you take it. But then, this is how it practically happened to me. Because that was a situation where somebody need to be there to translate in this language because this person is talking on his own something. We cannot depend on a karmi to translate Guru Maharaj's lecture. Or then later on he asked me to check translations into Malayalam and he gave me service to him in BBT. And I did some service. So for this I am eternally indebted to my Guru Maharaj. And I believe even today, whatever it is, that day some people say, one psychiatrist said, that fear has gone. That's why you stopped yourself. Maybe that's true also. But then it all happened because of Guru Maharaj. And he gave me blessing. And I thought I have his blessing I can do without stammering. And I did it. Maybe it's because of my self auto-suggestion or whatever. There are so many reasons they say. But then the root cause is Guru Maharaj. That much I can say. Because he asked me to translate. I was such a small boy. I was a 19-year-old boy translating. And the crowd appreciated. I was even more happy. I never stammered in my life after that. So this is something very, very, very special that has happened to me through Guru Maharaj. This is one thing. There's so many things, but then I just wanted to say something very striking to everybody.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yes.
Prabhu, Sudarshan Das here from Abu Dhabi.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Namaskar. Yes.
Prabhu, I just have a question, Prabhu. Not one, but two questions I have. Sorry for that.
Yeah, no problem.
Prabhu, first question is like, what if we don't get right sadhu sangha, Prabhuji, in the spiritual practice?
Actually, sadhu sangha is always right.
Okay.
It's always right. In the beginning, that sadhu sangha is enough for us. Just somebody says something, you just go. That's the place that Hare Krishna Sankirtan is going on, and he doesn't know anything. He doesn't go there. He doesn't know anything. It happened to me. Actually, I happened to in Trivandrum. There is a temple. ISKCON temple was there. Just started there, and nearby there is a hospital. And I was hanging around there. I had to attend to some patient who was related to me. Hanging around there, I didn't know what to do. I was just, And then somebody said, some sound was coming. Somebody said, "What are you looking for? You're looking for that ashram? That ashram is there." He just showed me the way. I went into the ashram because of that man. That man, I have not seen him before, after also. Some other co-patients, standby or whatever. And that person came. He showed me that place to Krishna consciousness, to the temple. I accept him as my Vatma Pradashaka Guru. He may not be having any kind of qualification to be a guru, but then I should respect him because he is the person who first showed me this is the temple. He showed me that place. So that is also a sadhu sangha, one kind of sadhu sangha. Like Chintamani, there was Villamangalam Thakur. Villamangalam was a very learned person, but then he was very attached to a prostitute. Not even one day he could pass by without visiting this prostitute. One time there's a heavy rain and he had to cross a river and go, and he couldn't go. Some or other with great difficulty. Late night he came and stuck the door of this lady. Her name is Chintamani. And then, just knocked, and then she opened the door. She said, "My God, you're so determined to visit me." And if you had the same kind of attitude towards searching out God consciousness, searching out for God, you would have reached God by now. So this much of interest, if you had in God consciousness, you would have achieved God consciousness. She just directed this. This one word was enough for this person because he is carrying over, Sarpam Abhyasa Dharmasya from previous life. He is carrying over his Krishna consciousness. And he took it very seriously. And that sentence made him change. He became a great devotee of the Lord. He wrote Krishna Karnamrutam and in the first sloka, he pays obeisance to Chintamani, who directed him to Krishna. So this is like, Sadhu Sangha can be, and another Sadhu Sangha which you were saying, means like after we get into Krishna consciousness and we get some Sangha which is distracting from Krishna consciousness. That is not Sadhu Sangha. That is Asat Sangha. Asat Sangha Tyaga Ei Vaishnavacha. There was one devotee, Vasudev Datta, by name, Vasudev Datta in Mayapur. And that person was so careful to avoid any kind of offenses. The moment he will be coming and talking to you, Hare Krishna, the moment you say, you know about that devotee, it happened, he did this. You turn around, he will not be there. He will just disappear from that place. Asat Sangha Tyaga, we should simply give it up. If we think this is going to take me away from Krishna consciousness, we should give it up. This is not Sadhu Sangha. But then, even a person who do not know anything, he is guiding us to Krishna. He is Sadhu. He is Sadhu. And it is our duty to give him back.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Another question you said.
Prabhu, yes, Prabhu. So my second question, Prabhu, how to identify a sadhu, Prabhuji? Like you said, sadhu sangha, right? How to identify sadhu means like, sometimes we stay with people and we get into small silly fights that becomes a ego issue, or sometimes it leads to changing of rooms or changing of places also. But again, we're not able to cope up more on oh, he was a sadhu, I should have not done that. That kind of sacrifices, is there any way to identify that, okay, yeah, this is a great sadhu?
There are two ways. One is a perfectly Shastric way. Another is our common sense. The Shastric way shows, Srimad Bhagavatam gives us, in the third canto, I think, there's a shloka which mentions Tidikshavaha. Prabhupada gives wonderful class on this. If you just search for this Tidikshava first word, then you will get Prabhupada's lecture from that tape. Tidikshava Karunikaha. Tidikshava means a person who is, so interested in Krishna consciousness. He is so interested. He is willing to give up anything for the sake of Krishna consciousness. He is so tolerant. Karunika is so tolerant of another person. Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada is so tolerant. Prabhupada is tolerant so much this boy, girls. And the result is, because Prabhupada tolerated, they became pure devotees. That's wrong. It seems there is incidentally, there's a story I wanted to tell you that it really surprised me. One devotee, in the beginning, those days when Prabhupada was in storefront, and whenever any boy comes and calls him, let us go to one place. There are some few people. They will listen to you. Can you come? The Prabhupada said, yeah, we will go. The Prabhupada will go with them and preach to them. And Prabhupada was trying, he was trying to preach and trying to get into the Krishna consciousness, spreading Krishna consciousness. And then Prabhupada, then this one day, one boy came and called him, I have few friends, and will you come with me to that place where you can preach? And Prabhupada said, yes, we'll go. He was enthusiastic. Prabhupada is always enthusiastic to preach. So he took him there to that place. He took him in the car. Went to that place for too long. He was riding the car. Went to that place, and a hall was there. One building, in the front there was a hall. He made Prabhupada sit down there. And then he went inside. He said, I will just bring all of them now. He just went out, went to the side. And then meantime, Prabhupada was sitting quiet. Another boy was there with him. So he just started chanting there, Radha Madhava. Whenever he chants, normally he closes his eyes. Radha Madhava, like that he chants. He chanted Jai Radha Madhava, a few Hare Krishna Mahamantras. Then he opened his eyes. The hall was full with people. What kind of people? All nude people. There was a nude camp. Nobody is having any dress. Everybody all nudes. Imagine if we were in that position, somebody had taken us to such a place, would have killed that guy. Why did you bring me to this place? He would have asked. And Prabhupada said, Prabhupada just opened and nothing wrong happened, sort of attitude. Prabhupada said, so you're all very happy without having any dress? Prabhupada asked. They all said, yes, we are very happy, we are free, we are very happy. But then you should know you are not without dress. This body is also a dress. You know that? How nice it would be if you be without this dress also. Just imagine. Then everybody were thinking, what this Swamiji is saying? He said, yes, we are actually not this body. We are the soul within the body, which is very free. The soul can fly. It can go to Krishna. It can go to God. It can go out of this planet. So many things can be done if you don't have this body. But then, if something happens to the body, you get pain, right? So you cannot give up the body. So what you do is, you should know how you are not this body, how you are soul. If you come to know that, you will be even more happy. Prabhupada said. Just know Shastra talking and all that. Simply this much. He thought. Then he made them all chant. Everybody were dancing. All nude guys. Prabhupada encouraged them to dance. Prabhupada said, so if anybody wants to know the science of how to know you are not this body, you come to me, I will teach you. We'll all become expert. Out of that, Prabhupada made 15 devotees and all of them are sannyasis. See how Prabhupada is turning the situation, right? So a devotee is like that. Titikshava is very tolerant. So that because he is very tolerant, he is able to change anything. Karunika, very merciful to everybody. Suhrita is very friendly. He is not a crazy guy, he is a friendly person. Suhrita Sarvadehina. All the living entities is very kind to everyone. Ajata Shatrava is his enemy is not born. King Yudhishthira had this name, Ajata Shatru. Means his enemy is not born because nobody is his enemy. Everybody is his friend. Because of his attitude, he doesn't have any enmity to anyone, so he doesn't have enemies. No enemy is born for him. Ajata Shatrava. Shanta, very peaceful. Sadhava, that person is sadhu. Sadhu Bhushana, these qualities are the ornaments of sadhu. So how to understand a sadhu from Shastric point of view? He will be very tolerant, he will be very merciful, he will be friendly to everyone, and he will be without any enemies. He will be very shanta, he will be very, very peaceful. He is a sadhu. So that is Shastric point of view. And from other point of view, our common sense point of view, a sadhu cannot be an enemy to anyone. A sadhu cannot do nonsense. A sadhu cannot but chant the holy name of Krishna to tell everyone. The sadhu cannot be without happiness. So when we see a person who is always chanting, who is actually very moderate in his behavior, who is not so very disturbed, who is not so very, what you call, who is not inimical or finding troubles with others always all the time. If a person not fault finding, putinati, they say, there are other set of, my Guru Maharaj has written a book, translated a book of Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, Vaishnava K. In that, so many of these qualities are mentioned. And we can know actually. So what I do is, to find out, I'm seeing a person for the first time. Of course, I should not be a judge of anybody. I should be judge of myself and advocate for others. We do opposite. We become judge for others and advocate for myself. For everything I do, I justify like an advocate. And for everything the other people do, we judge them based on what they do. That's not good. But then still, we can just ask them, Prabhu, Hare Krishna, how did you come to Krishna consciousness? What impelled you to take up Krishna consciousness? And then, from that we can find out what is the nature of that person, actually, basically. Not always correct, but then to some extent. And of course, that's a detailed topic. We can have a discussion on that another time. But then we also can find out a person from his activities. And another thing is, we can find a person from his friendship. What is his friend? A person is known by his friendship, right? In English also they say. If a person is, all my friends are thieves, then I am also a thief. All my friends are good people, then I am also a good man. So from the friendship we can understand, the talk we can understand, the attitudes we can understand, so many ways to understand a devotees. And at that time, we should not reprimand them. We should simply say obeisance, Hare Krishna Prabhu, see you. Just disappear, like Vasudeva did. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. I hope I answered you. Then this is what I understand. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Anybody else?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Danda Pranam. This is Sarvapalaka Ramadas from Abu Dhabi, Prabhuji.
Sarvapalaka Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Danda Pranam. Prabhuji, thank you so much for your wonderful class, and also thank you so much for sharing your personal experience with Guru Maharaj.
Yeah.
And Prabhuji, I have a small doubt regarding what we have discussed today. So we know that Srila Prabhupada was very much determined in following the instructions of his spiritual master.
Yes.
And similarly, we can see that our Guru Maharaj and also all the disciples of Srila Prabhupada
Yes.
are very much determined, and they are determined to fulfill the mission of Srila Prabhupada. And we know that this is all because of the unconditional love they have towards the spiritual master or towards the Srila Prabhupada.
Yes.
So we being the fallen souls with lot of anarthas inside, how we can develop such love towards our spiritual master? Because we know that only by pleasing our spiritual master we can get Krishna. So how we can develop not to that extent, at least some drop of love what they had towards Srila Prabhupada, how we can develop that in our consciousness, Prabhuji?
The first and foremost way, the most important way, is to associate with such people who are having love towards the spiritual master. Associate with such people who are very determined in practicing the order that they have received from the spiritual master, or practicing their devotional service. The first and foremost is again sadhu sangha. Means here sadhu means the person who is totally dedicated to the mission of the spiritual master. So when we associate, like Prabhupada, we cannot say he was associated in that sense. In the first meeting itself, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur told him to preach in English language. And Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur impressed upon him the importance of it, and Prabhupada argued with him in the beginning. India itself is not free, and without freedom for India, how can we preach Krishna consciousness, the philosophy of India all over the world? Aren't you impractical? And Prabhupada asked, and Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur said, Krishna consciousness is so important that it cannot wait for any other external conditions. So that actually implanted in him. And the day Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur few days before Bhaktivinoda Thakur passed away, Prabhupada had sent a letter to him. Then in what way I can assist you and all. So then Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote a letter back to him in 1937, in 1936, December 31st, he posted a letter to Prabhupada. He made somebody post a letter to him, his personal letter to Prabhupada. And by the time he received the letter of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and 1st January 1937, he had passed away in this world. On 31st, he posted the letter, and Prabhupada is receiving it on 3rd or 4th. By the time the spiritual master had already passed away, he just left an instruction with Prabhupada to spread Krishna consciousness, to preach in English. Young educated boys, you should definitely take it up and preach all over the world to preach Krishna consciousness. But Prabhupada, somehow or other, from that moment onwards, he cannot go and argue back with his guru because he's already left, he's already gone. And he knew this is what he wants me to do. And many places he went around and saw it. He didn't get a support. He didn't see another devotee who was thinking the same way. So he tried, even though he tried in Vrindavan, he tried in many places to associate. He couldn't see a person who is convinced to that extent. So Prabhupada started on his own. So that way, when Bhaktivinoda Thakur guided him, and his mission was successful, more than successful, we should say. It's glorious, his mission became. Because he became one-pointed. And you can read the sloka of Bhagavad Gita, purport by Srila Prabhupada, which gives you answer to this question. Vyavasayatmika buddhi ekeha kurunandana. That sloka, buddhayo avyavasayina, bahushaka kyanandasya buddhayo avyavasayina. A person who means business, vyavasaya means business. Right? A person who means business is one point in attention. So we are having so many excuses to say, my anarthas are not over, I am not a proper devotee, my chanting is not good, my thing is not good. We can have so many excuses. But then there is no excuse, no? So why don't you change? For that there is no answer. I am not able to. Somebody went and told Prabhupada, I am always in Maya. Prabhupada said, that devotee said, I'm chanting Hare Krishna, sometimes I go into Maya. And then Prabhupada corrected him. He said, you are always in Maya, sometimes you visit Krishna consciousness. Isn't that correct? So it is like that. We are always in Maya, sometimes we are Krishna conscious. So that situation, that sometimes Krishna consciousness, that sometimes should expand. And that is possible only through, there is an answer for answer of this particular topic, Sadhu Sangha. I have seen it is contagious. Enthusiasm is contagious. If a person is enthusiastic in serving Krishna and Guru, and definitely he is contagious. Other people will get it. Either they will get it or they will leave it and go. You cannot stand. So that enthusiasm is always contagious. So we can become enthusiastic. If we think we are not enthusiastic, associate with a person who is enthusiastic. This is the only solution. You have to try that out. And then you will find your thing is also changing. Your status also is increasing. Okay, Prabhu? Is there an answer to you, Prabhu?
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Happy to see you here. In the beginning, I just saw Sarvapalaka Prabhu in the...
Yes.
Thank you. Right.
Okay, any other questions, devotees? Prabhuji, you have time?
Yes.
Okay. Rasamrta Prabhu, please unmute.
Sorry. So if it is not late for Prabhuji, first of all, I would like to sincerely express my gratitude to you, Prabhuji, for such a wonderful class on Sadhu Sangha. Also, thanks to Siddha Gauranga Prabhu, Bahuru Prabhu for arranging this. And I am very much touched by Prabhu your narration of Maharaj blessing you So I was just thinking that it is actually a practical demonstration of Mukam Karoti Vachalam.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you, Prabhu. Very nice. I missed saying that. Wonderful. Thank you, Prabhu.
So it was very nice, Prabhuji. Very inspiring. Prabhu, I just have a very small technical, question. Like, we have heard many times that Ajamil was blessed. His son was blessed by a sadhu.
Yeah.
Didn't know that it was actually Lomas Rishi.
Yeah.
So this comes in Bhagavatam, or this reference is in somewhere else, Prabhuji?
This is a story told by Prabhupada in one of the lectures.
Okay.
This is not, I don't think it's mentioned in Bhagavatam. I remember hearing it from His Holiness Jananivas Prabhu in Mayapur.
Perfect, Prabhuji. Thank you. Because I was also actually, looking for this thing. So good that you told today that it was Lomas Rishi.
As Prabhu told, this is spoken by Prabhupada. Yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, in this connection, I have a question.
Yes, Prabhu.
Why is that Angira Maharshi advised him to go to Ajamila, who is on a lower this thing, to eat his remnants? What was the significance of that?
It's a very good question, Prabhu. It's like Jamila, he did not ask him to approach Jamila. He asked him to approach most sinful man. Approach a most sinful man and take his remnants. That's what he was advised. It's like remnants of food always, counteracts. Suppose if I take remnants of a pure devotee, and that counteracts my sins, my sinful activities, or my contaminations, and I become pure. And then a person's very, very sinful man, his remnants, if you take, then what happens? Always, whatever little sin he had, it will flow to him, because sin is more in that person, and that sin is less with us. It's like water flows from higher level to lower level. Similarly, sin flows from this place to that place. That person is anyway full of sin. He is very sinful. And if you take his remnants, instead of his sin coming to me, my sin will go to him, because I have only very little sin, because of which I am having this disease. So that was advised to Lama Shamuni. This is what my understanding. This was not spoken by Prabhupada, but this is my understanding. And if you associate with a person who is a pure devotee, that purity will come to us. Like I said, osmosis. And then if you associate with a person who is very, very sinful, and if you are not sinful, if you are very sinful, you will get sin from him. If you are not very sinful, your little sin will also go to him. And that also happens because of the blessings of Angira Muni, because he desired so. Because there is one important point we should know, like sometimes there is no muhurta for a marriage. Just an example. Sometimes there is no muhurta for a marriage. It's a bad time. For example, next month is supposed to be July month, in the beginning month of Chaturmasya. There is no muhurta. You cannot get married in that month. So then what happens? But marriage has to take place because of some reason or the other. And then what happens? You approach a sadhu and you explain the situation and you just request him, please give me that muhurta, a muhurta for marriage. And then he will say, Shubha muhurtam astu, Shubha muhurtam astu, Shubha muhurtam astu. 3 times if you say, that muhurtam is Shubha, he can get married at that time, even though the time is not very good. So sadhu is given so much of power. Just by power of speech, he can turn night into day, day into night. So this is one point. Therefore, because Angira Muni advised him to go and do this, and if he had done on his own, this wouldn't have happened. But then because maybe Angira Muni is his Shiksha Guru or whatever, Diksha Guru, we don't know that relationship. And because of that, Angira Muni's blessings, this happened. Because, Krishna belonged to Sadhu. Krishna says that you can say that gopis, he tells gopis that I cannot give anything to you. What can I give you? Even if I say I will give you the position of Brahma, you will not take it. Even if I say anything, if I give you also, you will not take it. Because for you, most important is loving me. And let that love be, let that love itself be my present to you. That's all. What I can give you, I cannot give anything. You be satisfied with your own love for me. This is what Krishna advised the gopis. Krishna told the gopis. Do not give anything to them. Krishna is the possessor of everything, all opulences. Krishna could not give anything to them because they are such dedicated people. Similarly, the bhaktas, the devotees, Aham Bhakta Paradino, this is sloka where Krishna says, I am indebted to my devotees always. I am indebted. Whatever they say, it should come true. It should come true. So this way, and because of Angara Muni's instigation or his desire, it happens. It so happened that his disease went away. That was his blessing. That's what we can take it. Without speculation, if you want to take it, it's like because of Angara Muni's blessing, this happened. Maybe Angara Muni blessed who all? He blessed Lomasha Muni. He blessed Jamala's wife. He blessed Jamala, Jamala's son. So many people he blessed in one shot.
Thank you, Prabhuji. It's a very good, convincing answer.
Right.
And Bahurup Narasimha Prabhu, can you please give vote of thanks to Prabhuji for enlightening us about Sadhu Sangha and many other points also.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
So much. It was very wonderful and very inspiring. So Prabhuji joined at the age of 18 in Hare Krishna movement.
I came in contact with this one in 1981, Prabhuji, and 83 I took initiation.
So that means at the age of 18 you got blessed by Guru Maharaj.
At the age of 19, I got blessed by Guru.
19. Yeah. Then when you got initiation, Prabhuji?
Yeah, in 1983.
83.
Okay.
83,
So
1983.
Okay. And have you worked with the Guru Maharaj as a personal assistant, caregiver?
Yes, now and then. I've been to Mayapur. I've been with Guru Maharaj's crew, servant crews for some time. And I've traveled with Guru Maharaj for some time. So, 2-3 places I went with Guru Maharaj, of course, within India.
Okay. And Prabhuji, we request your frequent association.
Thank you, Prabhu. As Krishna wishes, as Guru Maharaj.
Yeah.
Thank you.